So I guess the climb was worth it. So I finally got a view after a couple days of raining. So this is nice. It's a little pond right there. This is Chairback Mountain.
It's hard to wake up and get ready when it's raining on my tent.
So here's day 5, and I don't know what this glare is. I'm hiking in the rain all day today and all day tomorrow. And then hopefully the next day after that, from 2 days hiking in the rain, I'm gonna hike into Shaw's Hiker Hostel. That's the hostel where I bought my backpack when I was up here in 2022. It's a really nice hostel. In 2015, the owners were like a young couple that had just recently purchased the hostel, and they were really excited to meet us because we were one of the first groups of southbounders that had hit the hostel. And when I got off the trail and I was headed to the town of Monson, Poet stopped with his little shuttle bus and gave me a towel and a beer. And he's like, "Are you going to Shaw's?" And I was like, "I am now." And then I think we played like apples to apples with him and stuff. I had a few beers, and then he brought out the wild turkey. It was a pretty fun night. And then the next morning, we had this delicious pancake breakfast. And so now the hostel's really grown, and he has a gear shop there, which I'm hoping to visit to buy a pillow, because I've been using my clothing bag as a pillow, and it's not that comfortable because it's a plastic bag and it's just lumpy. So I'm going to try to get a nice inflatable pillow so I can get a good night's sleep every night, which I have been sleeping pretty good. So I've been averaging around 18 miles a day, and today I'm going to try to do 19 miles, go to the shelter. So I slept in my tent last night. Now my tent's all wet, so it'd be nice to sleep in a shelter. And then maybe when I get to Shaw's, I'll have a chance to dry out my tent. So probably the next 2 nights, I'll be trying to sleep in a shelter, which is like a 3-sided log cabin that they have on the trail about every 10 miles or so. And each little shelter has a logbook that you can sign. You can keep track of hikers. So from reading the logbooks, I've been noticing that there's a few Sobos ahead of me, about a day ahead, and one of them is named Jazz Hands, and that actually sounds familiar to me, but I thought it could be just somebody with a similar trail name as one I've heard before. But if I'm not mistaken, there was a Jazz Hands in 2015 I used to see signed in the logbook. And so he wrote a note in this last shelter that he stayed at last night, a night before me, that he had been there 10 years before on his through hike, which is the same year I did a through hike of the northern half of the trail. So maybe I've run into this guy before. I'll have to see. Maybe I'll catch up to him at a shelter. So anyway, that's all for now. I'm going to hunker down and try to put in some miles in the rain.